I also think there are a couple of bills like, for example, the Social Security Act 2100 that would be a very good bill for us to pass.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here with some pretty incredible news. As I've got some video footage you are not going to want to miss. Just came out yesterday. Head of the Progressive Caucus in the House of Representatives, Pramila Jayapal, has just confirmed they're bringing more legislation for stimulus before Congress, before these midterm elections, to see if they can pass more to help out the American people and have it fresh in the minds of voters before they hit those voting polls. Now, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest details. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update, and stimulus package update. Now, like I said, I've got video footage we're going to dive into here in just a second, but this should come as no surprise, as we've been hearing this has been the plan for quite some time, and we've heard this was all going to come back right before the elections, and we have seen Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer say they will not rest until they pass free college tuition, free childcare. We've now seen executive actions coming after the reconciliation bill to wipe out $10,000 of student loan debt. We've seen Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren bring to the table a new proposal for Social Security increases of $200. And also, we've heard that in a Hail Mary last-minute effort, Democrats have brought back child tax credits, and they're in negotiations right now with Republicans to see what they can exchange in order to pass legislation for those increased monthly stimulus check provisions for parents. And also, everybody is waiting to see if the big one will return, which will likely be the very last one if they do it, and that is fourth federal level stimulus checks to everybody in the nation. Now, you guys, if they do this, I mentioned this in my videos yesterday. If you missed it, if you missed my live stream with my daughter, check it out. We covered for you how much excess stimulus is available on a federal level. And right now we're showing around $600 billion, which is more than enough to provide a fourth federal level stimulus check to everybody in the nation. Not new spending, money from previous packages just sitting there untouched, that is available. And right now, the only way that that could probably be sent out at this time before midterm elections, it would have to be through executive action. Typical legislation with 60 votes in the Senate, not going to happen. The support isn't there. Reconciliation bill, the Inflation Reduction Act was used, and legally they would need to do some maneuvering to figure out a way to pass another one. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. There's not even probably enough time to do that if they could figure something out. The only way to do it before the elections would likely have to be executive orders, executive actions, and we covered for you in that live stream that it has been done, it can be done. It's a little bit of a gray area, but it has to be done correctly, and if it is, it could redistribute and repurpose those existing funds to be sent out. Now, we will see if they are holding that in their back pocket or if they use those funds for something else. But you guys, like I said, just received confirmation. I'm going to be sharing with you Pramila Jayapal saying stimulus provisions are coming back, and she's specifically talking about those Social Security increases for those on fixed income. And with this inflation that we're getting right now, we're hearing that they need it a lot, that they're getting hit the hardest. They're saying out of everybody, the wealth gap that is spreading, it's leaving behind those on fixed incomes. And she's saying that this bill is coming back, along with we're hearing child tax credits, and also pushes from Democrats to get more stimulus provisions done. So you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in so you can see it for yourself here from Pramila Jayapal just yesterday, saying that these things, they want to address them before the midterm elections. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, before we do, also wanted to mention the Relief Roadmap. It is available at www.reliefroadmap.com. You can go ahead and access it to get access to every single stimulus check in the nation on every level. I've got for you websites, new programs rolling out, income eligibility requirements, how long they're going to be available, direct access to the websites, phone numbers, emails, so you can have it all in one easy to access place. And also, you guys, working with technical support for those of you locked out, going to make sure that you get access. Going to be going through some of those help requests today. And also, you guys, the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, more content coming out to help you out there. So keep an eye out on that channel. Just released another video yesterday on reprogramming our brains to have success. And with that being said, though, let's get to Pramila Jayapal. Do me a quick favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date, totally free. And if you got any specific questions, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. With that being said, you guys, let's take a look at this video footage. Let me know your thoughts as we're hearing confirmation. Stimulus, it's coming back.
The House of Representatives is back in session now following its August recess. On the agenda right away for lawmakers, avoid a government shutdown at the end of this month. Joining us now, Chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus and Senior Whip of the Democratic Caucus, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington State. It's great to have you on. I'm curious what the goals are, what the progressives' goals are in the coming months and how they correlate with the midterm messaging.
Mika, it's great to be with you, and it's good to be back in session and to have just attended the celebration ceremony for the Inflation Reduction Act and to really see how much we've gotten done. Now, in terms of what we have left to do, we have these appropriations bills that we need to pass in order to make sure that we continue to fund the government. That deadline is September 30th, and we're at work on that. It'll probably be a continuing resolution to continue to fund the government. I also think there are a couple of bills, like, for example, the Social Security Act 2100, that would be a very good bill for us to pass. This is something that is incredibly popular across the country, and this bill really makes some critical improvements to Social Security, and it contrasts us with the Republicans who we know, through Rick Scott and others, want to strip away Social Security. We also hope that the Senate is going to pass the marriage equality bill. I think that is a really critical bill to be able to put Republicans on the record and hopefully to be able to pass with at least 10 Republicans. So those are some of the things on the plate. For the midterm elections, we have a couple of messages. Number one, Mika, we have to tell people how much Democrats have done, how we've brought down unemployment tremendously to the lowest point in the last 50 years, the way in which we've created jobs, the way in which we've brought manufacturing back to the United States with the CHIPS Act, of course, reducing hunger through the American Rescue Plan. Some of that ARP money, by the way, is still funding states for child care and other things. And then most recently, the biggest investment in climate and, of course, protecting our freedoms. Women are furious across the country about the Dobbs decision. It is turning women out in droves. And those things together, I think, are going to be the winning formula for the midterms.
Yeah, I think Lindsey Graham actually might have helped Democrats yesterday with what he said. A lot of wins, obviously, to brag on in the lead up to the elections, the midterms elections. But I'm wondering if Democrats need to be careful about taking the credit for reducing inflation, for doing whatever the Inflation Reduction Act claims it will do for the economy, including reduce inflation. Can you explain how it will do that? And do you think it is something Democrats need to be careful about, given how hot the economy is right now? Even yesterday, President Biden coming out and celebrating his legislation, and the stock market is plummeting.
I think we have to be careful about not saying everything's hunky-dory rosy and, people are doing great, because we know that families across the country are still struggling with rising costs. We know that gas prices are down. I think that is a really important thing as we go into the midterms. And we know that we have gotten more money in people's pockets, and that through the Inflation Reduction Act, there will be a savings, substantial savings on health care, on prescription drugs, on capping of out-of-pocket costs. These are all things that Americans will feel. They may not feel them in the next month, though. And so that's the thing I think we have to be careful about, is saying, look, we have invested in the future. You will see these benefits. And we want to tell you what they are. We've never before, Mika, you know this, you've covered the Hill for a long time. We've never been able to get Medicare to negotiate drug prices. And finally, for the first time, we got our foot in the door. And I think we need to make sure Americans know about that, but also understand that we're not free and clear. We're still working to get everything, to get even more done.
So there you have it, you guys. Pramila Jayapal, head of the Progressive Caucus in the House of Representatives, confirming for us, letting us know that they are bringing back these stimulus provisions, that they are going to be hitting the ground running, getting busy now that they're back in session. And they want to get things done before these midterm elections, of course, because they want it to be fresh in the minds of voters before they hit those voting polls to see if they can stay in power. Now, if you missed my videos earlier this morning, we heard from Nancy Pelosi. She said Democrats, they're going to do it, and that they're going to be bringing forth legislation that is going to be supported by the American people, and they're going to stay in power. Now, We will see you guys. Let me know your thoughts, because I also did a video earlier today where we heard from Republicans that said, no, the things that you guys are passing are wrecking our economy. They're increasing inflation, and you are going to force us into a recession. And they're saying, get Democrats out of power, out of control, because they're wrecking our economy. Now, we will see you guys, but one thing's for sure is that things are ramping up, and we are expecting to see a whole lot coming out here very soon. And like I said, I will keep you up to date, whatever unfolds every step of the way here on the channel, you guys. But that is the latest, and as always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that if you made it this far, that you enjoyed it. And if you have, don't forget, smash the like button. Helps out the channel with the YouTube algorithm. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, totally free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. You can come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. I cite all the sources, talk about Congress, stimulus, politics, everything happening with our economy. Any specific questions, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on that channel to help you out as well. And also, again, if you're interested, www.reliefroadmap.com. I have created a comprehensive list of every single stimulus check in the nation on every level, states, cities, counties, and I'm keeping it up to date. We're going to be adding more programs this week, so that way you don't miss out on anything. All of it in one easy to access place, right from your phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever you got. And with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.